Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today is the second video that we're doing this year, but it's the first time that I've actually painted something this year, so we'll just jump into it. So before we get to the painting, I just want to show you a couple of the things that I do to kind of start out the new year and things that actually help me with my art practice. So the first thing here, I have a little stack of planners. This top one that I'm showing you now, this is my new planner for 2024. It's a Tinne+Mia planner, so they're hard to find in the US, so I got these from their actual site. And you can see like the first book is the first 6 months, the second book is the second 6 months, and then the third book here is the monthlies and kind of notes. So if it's getting a bit chunky, you can take out like one of the 6 month ones, depending, where you are, and keep the monthlies or whatever. But I really like the size of it, the portability, and I just think everything they design is really beautiful. So this was the one that I used last year. You can see it's a larger format. The one I have this year is like a cloth bound. This one is kind of just got more of a plastic cover, but I did really enjoy it last year. It was lightweight and I just liked the size of it. I liked being able to kind of spread out in it. So the other thing I have in this stack is this book by Amy Merrick. She's a florist, a beautiful florist, and this book I've just been kind of dipping in and out of. The nice thing about this book, she says it's like a bouquet of memories. She was going to create a book about flower arranging, but then she said it just kind of became this collection of just beautiful things. So it's very nice to dip in and out of and just read a few pages. Like here, this part here, it's very nice, like reading this part about her Elmwood sort of country home, and so anyway, that is just kind of in this little pile of kind of planners. I love having little stacks of books, so for different things. So when I am either jotting down like a daily log or appointments that we have, or other things that I need to do. And I'll also put sketches in my planners as well. But it's just very nice to kind of pick this up and dip into it a little bit. And, when I don't have a lot of time to read, but there's still a few nice things to read. And yeah. So this one here is my traveler's notebook. This is a dedicated kind of art traveler's notebook. So I have this little Apica notebook in here. You will have seen this if you've been on the channel for a while. So I showed this last year. I think this is like my 5th year that I've been using this system. So I really enjoy this because when I first started watercolor, I had just, little bits of scraps of paper everywhere with all different swatches and mixes and everything, but this way I can keep it all contained in this little book. And then I also kind of have a memory of what I was working on and thinking about that year. And I just don't write down, but like I will sketch ideas in here. I will swatch color ideas and palette ideas, see if it's a good mix. It's just a really easy and nice place to keep everything so that I can reference it if I want, and it's also just kind of a scratch pad. I don't have to worry about if the pages aren't that great or anything like that. This is just kind of a personal catch-all. It's kind of like a commonplace book for my art. Like last year was the first time I was able to get my hands on some green leaf and blueberry. So I had seen those for several years, but every time I'd seen the updates, they were all sold out. And so last year I went back and had a look and I was able to get some colours. So that was really exciting. And you can see here just all the different kind of colour notes and colour ideas that I collect in these little books. The thing about this book is I use every second page, and then I just glue the bottoms together so I can kind of turn it and actually see. You can see I staple things in. It's just a really nice place to keep everything together, and I can look back through the years now and see like what colours I introduced, what colours I returned to. Yeah, this is from an actual artwork that I wanted to keep a record. These are from ones that I was working on for the shop. So yeah. Here I was swatching out all my sap greens at the beginning of the year. So I actually start generally at the back of the book and work forward. So the beginning of the year will be at the back, and the end of the year will start from the front. So then this is another planner. This is an idea for if you have like an out-of-date planner that you didn't end up using, use it as an art kind of a goal-keeping place. So I've put this one as the kind of channel book, but you don't necessarily need it to have a channel. So I've put my theme for the year. I thought this was a really nice one. So this is something that our mother kind of always instilled in us: with effort comes beauty. So, you know, you vacuum and it's clean. You know, you have to work on things to create that nice feeling or to get to that goal. So I had been doing that, and kind of I really like to translate little things into other languages, so you could see that there. And then but then I also just keep little records of things that I want to paint. So, you know, it's very difficult to find time to get everything done. So it's nice to have a place like this where you can kind of keep lists and remember things that you want to work on. So this is a little package that arrived. So I got this in there, I think it could have been like Black Friday sale maybe. And so this is the Canada Goose set. I really wanted to get this because it's got several of the colours that I really enjoy as replacements, and just it reminds me of my sister. So we will swatch that in another video. And then, so we're getting into now how I got to the painting for this video. So you'll have seen in the last video that I've been working on this Colour a Day project. So I said I wasn't going to really show much of this on the channel, but I wanted to just kind of show you how I was getting to today. So I mentioned in the last video that I wanted part of this to be like old papered wallpapers and things. So I had done that particular large swatch for a day, and I'm kind of showing you here how you can replicate this. So it's kind of like a C and then a backwards C, or like kind of brackets, but they're a little bit more curled on the ends, and then you kind of do them the opposite way, and you can see kind of where I'm placing those, and then I'm doing the ones out a little bit further. And so you just keep doing that down the line, and then when you go to the next line, you kind of want to make the back of those touch. And again, the next line, those ones can be in the middle there like that. So they're kind of, the back of those is kind of creating that line down the center. And again, then we're kind of going back to ones that touch. So then in the middle here, it's just a very simple 4-petaled flower, that kind of little motif. And yep, just doing that there. And then what I did, so on my actual page, I used watercolor for this, but you could use pencil. Again, like this is something you can use any medium for, but I'm going in on the right hand side now of everything and just basically shadowing that in, just to give a little bit of depth into this pattern. So you can see it's a very simple pattern to create, but it creates quite a statement. So yeah, I just thought this would be a nice one to kind of show. And again, if you're following along with this project, or you just want to create a page in your sketchbook, this is a very nice one to use. The interesting thing about this, like if you wanted to just take this as your motive for a week and do a different color combination, like you can see there when it's in this kind of gold kind of champagne gold or kind of silvery on top of something dark. And you can see that I took the pencil and I also swatched, and the watercolor that I used, and I swatched them in that kind of patchwork quilt area that I'm kind of color blocking over there as well. But I also put it on top of, it's the same colors on top of a different watercolor, and you can see the difference that creates there in the mood and in the feeling of the piece. So it's a really nice little motive to explore, and yeah, like I said, you could, use that every day and practice different color combinations. It's a really nice one to use. So okay, and then how does this relate to today's painting? So I was getting this kind of up to date on Instagram, so you can follow me over on Au Poetique on Instagram. I am trying to do like kind of weekly updates on this project over there, and little behind the scenes peeks of what's coming up on the channel and things like that. I will try and put some shorts on YouTube that are similar to the ones on Instagram, so if you don't have that, you can you don't miss out on those. But I have to upload I think I have to upload an app onto my phone. It's always a little bit more difficult than, it seems. So it's not just as easy as just the one thing. So anyway, and I've got to make room on my phone to have the storage space to do the app. So anyway, yeah, but I will try and get that organized. But I just showed you that little kind of fluorescent, the floral. So I was doing that for a reel of just ideas, like if you're running out of ideas, just start painting swatches. So I painted that for the reel, and then it was kind of an idea that I'd been thinking about for the color a day, like for my next kind of wallpapery part. So you'll see that coming up as well. But that really inspired this whole kind of color palette idea for this painting. So this is a really large shoe. If you've been around for a while, you know I love to paint a good shoe. And this one I sketched out last year and I just didn't get around to it. So I've been kind of had it in the back of my mind and kind of thinking about the color palette, like how would I paint it, what would I like to paint it. And that's where the Colour a Day project has come in very handy as kind of a jumping off point for just ideas, inspiration and colour palettes. Often when I start something, it's always to do with a colour palette, I think, generally. Or like I'll have an idea, but then I really want to work on what colours to use. I'm trying to think. I think sometimes the subject is something I don't know. Anyway, but I do really enjoy working on it like this, and I've enjoyed working on the Colour a Day project. It's almost like a little colour puzzle. How do you keep putting colours on this page and kind of portraying the colour that you're feeling or thinking about that day, but also make it all work together. So I've really enjoyed that part of it. And then, yeah, you can see like it brings me to projects like this one. So this, yeah, we might go more into this as the year progresses and do more of these. I got a question about where my inspiration comes from, so I'll show you that a little bit in a minute as well. But you can see when I am working on a very large piece like this and there's a lot to cover there, I'm kind of adding in, there's different ways you can do it. You can either wet that entire area, but I often like to kind of start and then gradually begin filling that in, because I like the difference of the blooming. Some of it'll dry, and that's okay. Like it's nice to have all these different things going on. That's what makes the interest in the painting. So this was another day. I like to do a little shot like that where I come back in another day and kind of to separate the days. You can kind of see the progress. And then I wanted to use this Oblique pen. We talked about this in the gift guide and I haven't really used it. And then I thought I can use it because you kind of need a tilted pot and all this stuff. So I realized I could just use my paintbrush and yeah, so that's what I did. I have one of my favorite watercolors is Katia by Nibs Watercolors, and so I popped that on here. It's a holographic like champagne color, really beautiful. So I have applied that with the brush, and then I'm just using this gorgeous pen to create this emblem and to create the sparkle. So you can also use a paintbrush. You know, I could have used my regular kind of dip pen, but it's really nice to kind of have this little bit of, they call this on there, or that, I'm not sure if it's exactly the Oblique pen, but the straight version of this they call the a little dreamboat of a pen, which I think is so nice. It really, really is. It's a stunning pen. So yeah, you can see kind of all the sparkle happening, and I really love when this is coming together. And what I'm kind of going for here is a tapestry, like these faded tapestries. So there's a little bit of the Swiss French earth in there as well to kind of give that old feeling. There's the brightness to give this kind of modern feeling. So when I wanted to also mention, when I normally use a colour like Peach Pop or a fluorescent colour that I know will fade over time, I'll normally put it on top of other colours that I know are light fast, so a more light fast version that's not as fluorescent, so that as those fade, you'll still get the feeling of the overall painting. It won't really change, it just won't be as vibrant. But in this case I was just too excited and I just jumped right in. But you can see, but I wanted to mention that, so if you are using those type of colors, it's really nice to put like shell pink or a different color underneath it to just preserve the integrity of the painting, or like, you know, what you were trying to capture, to keep that there. So this is kind of my inspiration for the shoes. These were one of my favorite shoes. They're red velvet embroidered shoes. They had a little gold kitten heel. And then these ones here, you can see they're kind of wedges. They've got a cork backing with like a apricot suede that's kind of tied at the front. You can see I used to be a little bit more style points than I am these days. It's just, yeah, all black and not very exciting. But this is a Alberta Ferretti Velvet Mule. They actually have a pair of these left on you, because I'm gonna link them for you if you're a size 5. And then these were some Christian Louboutin ones that I just loved. So I've never seen those in person, but I loved the just seeing that image. So those that kind of combine, you can also see we had a little make your own Sunday birthday kind of party, but those combined are what I'm often thinking about when I'm going to make or to paint shoes, or to I really love them. So that pretty much wraps up the video. You can see here that we are just doing some moments with Millie, and things are coming along, progressing it is slow, but yeah, you can see here they're quite happy with each other. This actually came about that we had to take all 3 of the pets to the vet, and it was quite a bonding experience for them. They really all, they were very good. The vet was really nice and she really liked them. So it was just it was quite a nice experience. You can see that Huckleberry the cat has really taken a kind of a fatherly role over Millie. But you can see here, like on the way to the vet, Millie was very anxious. The other 2 were fine. They didn't have a problem. But on the way home here, Huckleberry actually got out of his little felt kind of thing and went over and sat next to Millie on the seat. So we had like plastic and, paper towel in case I didn't know how, they'd travel and if anyone threw up or anything. But they were all quite fun traveling, except Millie was very, very anxious coming home. Like it was really not, she really didn't enjoy going. She didn't enjoy, anything really about it. So really Huckleberry was really the one to sit with her and just really calm her and be with her in that way. So he hadn't really talked to her much. He'd sort of been ignoring her a little bit. And it really, really helped her. So he's been very, very good for her like that. I think Rosie's still a bit wanting to be kind of the centre of attention. And so anyway, it's going along. Other than that, it's like really leaving her alone in the yard is like having a forklift with no operator. So she just gets into everything. She finds like cables and I don't know, just all kinds of things. They must be like, for drainage and for watering the plants and things. And anyway, so I hope you guys are doing well and I will see you soon. Bye.